Well, listen, I mean, you had a good day yesterday. You came up with
For
here's
the
what I
for
will.
the most part, I did.
You
For
had
the
a
most
really
part, I
good
did.
day,
The
and
one
I
I
was really
wanted more than the others didn't come through, though. Unfortunately, the
well.
one
That
that
was
my
yeah.
heartstrings are involved.
Yeah, that's the problem because when you were using your head, you had a really good day. Use your heart, not so much.
I got too used to the Mets doing me justice that I turned it into the Range, and I said, "Hey, listen, my teams are doing work right now." But yeah, the Rangers didn't come through. They actually got embarrassed last night. We'll get to that in a little bit. Um,
So, listen, I think what you said. Listen, Tatum showed up, right? Tatum showed up and won.
Horford showed up. Are you kidding me? 30
Well,
points from Al Horford, 5 threes, 10 for 14 from the field. He dunked on Giannis. I couldn't believe what I was seeing from Al Horford. They needed someone to help Tatum, and it wasn't Brown, it was Horford. That was
what
a
and
big
what?
win for Boston.
Well, I think that shifts the whole thing. I think the whole
Shifts the whole
dynamic.
thing.
I think that shifts the whole dynamic of the whole East
Yes.
because if listen, if we'll get to Miami and Philadelphia in a minute, but I actually got to believe if Robert Williams keeps getting healthier and healthier, now the Celtics have to be the favorite. If they
Yeah.
play Philadelphia or Miami, they're favored, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because, well, first of all, Miami was the number 1 seed. Boston was the 2 seed. But literally, when we were watching this series play out with Philly and Miami, you're starting to see, like we talked about the other day, is their lack of a superstar. Jimmy Butler's the closest thing they have to a superstar, but these other teams got A1 superstars. And I think that's the problem with Miami. And I don't know that they're relying on Oladipo, PJ Tucker, guys like this. Good chemistry team. Don't get me wrong. You need a superstar in the playoffs. And I don't know if they got that. And right now,
I
Boston
think
has a couple, and they haven't played up to their par. But yesterday, stealing that game, and even in the series, going back home 2-2, you got to like Boston's chances now with 2 of the next 3 at home. Drew Holiday's trying to pick up for Middleton's, scoring, and he's off. He shot 4 for 20 or something last night. Giannis can't do it all as good as he is, especially versus a good defensive team like Boston. So I think it's starting to formulate into the Celtics getting back in control of the series from last night.
I think they're going to have a lot of momentum. I actually think they're going to be really energized, and I think you're going. I honestly think they're going to smack them in the next game. I think it's going to be a double-digit win, and they're going to smack them. I think they're going to gain a lot of confidence from that because I think they were iffy. I think they were doubting themselves.
And you know how
And
series go when you start to like it builds and builds, you start to see how you could beat a team.
yeah,
And I think
yeah,
that Boston's coach, he's a rookie coach, he's doing a great job adjusting to how his team needs to beat the Bucks. And I still think Boston has another level to take it to, that's the part of why I think that they're going to win this series now is they got it 2-2 and they haven't even played their best ball yet.
on the flip side of that, there was the other game who they don't have a superstar, but yet they had complete control of the game the whole game
It's
and just
interesting.
couldn't close it.
Because you know how the NBA is. That's a classic NBA. The guys out, their stars out, that team steps up. Well, Memphis was like 20-5 this year without Ja Morant, which was kind of crazy. They kind of played good without him because the ball gets spread around.
Yep.
But listen, the Warriors took them lightly early, thought that they could, not have to put the foot on the gas to kind of beat them. Fell down, kept playing catch up. But listen, to grind out that win and just get it done, the series is over. In my opinion, Grizzlies actually, for most of that game, had people questioning, wow, are the Grizzlies about to tie this series up and then possibly get back Ja Morant? The Warriors might not be going to the next round so easily. But to still pull that game out, that just shows the championship pedigree of the Warriors.
Well, that was one of my questions that I wanted to hear your answer to it. Does it make you even believe more in them that they can win a game where they played that bad? Or do you think now they're not a front runner? I would say they just had their worst game and they still got out of it.
And they showed the grit you need to still grind out games when you don't have your A game. And I mean, the Warriors can beat you in so many different ways, man. If they're not shooting the ball well, they'll grind you on defense with steals and turnovers and fast break points. They're so good. And I've been a Phoenix guy this whole time, and I still am. But man, you got to start looking at this Warriors team as that's the team that might be the team to beat.
All right, so we're going to see. Turn our attention now to tonight. We're going to see some things today that we need to know about, right? We need to try to figure out What's going on with the Suns? Are they going to
Suns,
write this thing? Are they
yeah, I
going to
think
write
they
it or
write it
not?
today. The Suns are fine. Yeah, they went to Dallas. Dallas got a lot of the calls. Luca was doing Luca things. Phoenix wasn't really into their game, and I think when the recipe for a good team like Phoenix, they come back home, they calm down,
Yeah.
and they go
Yeah.
out there and play a good game tonight, and they'll be fine. And I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna win tonight, and I think they're gonna win convincingly tonight. And I think they're going to go up 3-2. And listen, it's just Luka just showing how good he is, dragging this team to where they're at right now. I don't believe they're going to beat Phoenix, though. I just trust Phoenix too much, and I do think they'll right the ship tonight and win convincingly.
I heard a
I
stat.
expect a big game from Chris Paul tonight too, especially after his last stinker.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. So they said he's only fouled out of 6 out of like 140 playoff games.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, 6 seems like an incredibly high number for a point guard to be fouling out of. I would think they would say like 1 or 2. You get 6 fouls in the NBA. It's hard to foul out of a game, let alone a playoff game. It's very hard to do that. So I'm
especially with 11 minutes left, right? Didn't he leave with like 11 minutes left on the clock?
He missed the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Supposedly, did he have 4 in the first half? I think he had 4 fouls.
Yeah, Monty kind of took, he took the blame for that, saying he shouldn't have left Chris in so long early on when he got his 3rd foul to pick up the 4th and kind of put his team behind the 8 ball. So I like the fact that he said that was on him. And listen, the Suns been there, done that. I don't think it's a big problem. The thing is, it's just going longer than it should. So who knows how that pays a toll on their bodies going forward for an old Chris Paul, because they got to see the Warriors next. But listen, I think they're going to close it out in these next 2 games. I think that a team like that, I believe, will quickly snap back to their championship pedigree.
What's the number tonight? Do you know? What's that number?
6. They're -6. I think that's low. I think that'll be, if Phoenix is hitting their shots and playing defense and energetic behind their crowd, 6 is not enough. They're going to blow them out. They're going to easily cover the 6.
Wow.
Now, listen, but I mean, if Luka and Dallas are hitting their threes and early putting a little scare into Phoenix, we'll see. I mean, I say championship pedigree. They never won the championship, but they got to the finals last year, and I feel like this is that next step for them. So I say championship pedigree, but we'll see. We'll see. I believe in them. We'll see if I'm right.
Wow. And then in the other game, do you think, where do you see this series going?
This is a must-win game for Philly. This is a must-win game for Philly. I'll tell you why. You don't want to go back to Philly with the pressure of losing and your season being done, and Miami is not the team you want with a chance to close you out. You don't want them to be up 3-2. You have to be up 3-2. It's just for the mental fortitude of the series. It's a whole different game when Miami's coming into your building up 3-2 than them coming in with the chance to be going sent home if you play well. And I know Phillies fans, I know the city, I know the pressure. You got to win tonight. And I think if James Harden plays like he did last game, they will win tonight. So I'm calling Philly to go into Miami and win this game tonight.
Philly to go into Miami.
An even more monster game from Embiid, too, because he had a better game than he did in his first game. He came back, and somehow he wasn't touching the ball in the fourth quarter. But listen, Harden was making everything. I think you get that combo going together, and I think Philly's going to come out on top tonight.
Think Harden was out at the strip joints last night?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Pretty good chance he was at some strip joints last night having a good time. All right, man. We're gonna jump. Let's jump in and talk NHL. But first of all, I want to do a quick read for Sport Hitters.
Yeah.
Do you love brackets like we do? Sport Hitters is a new competitive wagering platform that allows a new way to play. You challenge other players in small private challenges or enter a tournament and go for the big payout. Sport Hitters offers brackets every day for every sport. And with its new prop challenges, Sport Hitters has something for everyone. So go to sporthitters.com, get the app, and get your brackets in. Daily challenge brackets are for real money, so go out and win. Get the app exclusively at sporthitters.com. Challenge on. All right, listen. Last night, let's recap last night because you know where I'm going for tonight, my man. You know where I'm going for tonight. Let's talk last night. Last night, the Rangers looked like a team with a bunch of AHL guys out there, right? They looked like a team with a bunch of minor leaguers out there that didn't know what they were doing. That to me was a very poor showing.
You're not going to catch me defending them from last night's performance. I don't know what I was watching. And the thing is, they jumped out 1-0, and in my head, I was like, "Wow, okay, they came to play." I was right.
Yeah.
And before I blinked, and I turned away for 2 seconds, and the score was 4-1, and I was like, "What the hell's happening?" They
Do you put this on the coach for leaving him out there again? I mean, it looked like some of those goals weren't
I
the
don't,
goalie's
because
fault,
listen,
but
Shesterkin all season's been a rock. He had the best save percentage in the last 65 years this year. It's unbelievable how he's giving all these goals, especially after you got to think back to game 1 though, when he had that 79 save 3 overtime game, if that affected him in any way, because since that game he's been atrocious. And I don't know, they're bad goals.
Getzel seems to know how to beat you guys, man. He seems to be everywhere where he's supposed to be, and he's getting all the bounces he's supposed to
I'll tell
get.
you,
He's in the right
it's just
spots. I mean, I
just the
don't
same
know.
thing as last time. Is the Rangers' best players are not playing good in the playoffs. Last year, Panarin, Kreider, Fox, Zibanejad, these guys are not playing well, and their best players have been Kopp, who they got at the deadline, and their rookie from last year, Lafreniere. Been their 2 best players. That's not good enough. Their defense has been poor. They're giving up bad goals, and on top of it, all the 50-50 and the referee breakage and the everything's going Penguins' way on top of all that other bad play. So it's just snowballing right now. But listen, it's not over. You still go back home. You win that game. Then you just tell yourself, let's go get one of these on the road, and we'll see where we're at.
Hey, listen,
so
I think that in any of all the major sports, I think 3-0 or 3-1, I think the NHL is the easiest one to come back from, because I believe that every game is a very individual game.
Totally agree with you.
I don't believe in a lot of momentum in hockey. I believe it's all individual games.
I totally agree with you.
It's much different to me than NBA, NBA or MLB or some of the other sports. I just think that it's an easier, I don't want to say easy, more.
It's a different kind of game, because
your
goalie could all of a sudden get hot, and now the goals that were going in are not going in. You could all of a sudden start getting power plays and scoring, and there's so many ways that it could change it. And you're right, every game is its own game in hockey, and I know every game in every sport is its own game, but it's different. And I believe that it is the easiest sport to come, especially 3-1, because all you got to do is put it in home and win one road game, and then anything could happen in the game 7. So I don't think it's over, but I am concerned, and I did tell you I don't know if they were ready this year to go far, but the fact that they made the playoffs and they had a great season is promising. But Penguins are a veteran team, and they're playing well. Tip my cap to them.
So on the flip side of that, Florida was an incredible. That game made no sense to me, because I thought they were done.
Washington let that one slip away. Let the series.
I thought they were done.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I thought they were done. Thought it was over. Thought the series was over. I thought
the series was over. And just like that, the series is over the other way. That, in my opinion, because Florida's the kind of team where now, I'm sorry, I think they get smoked in Florida in Game 5. Smoked. Florida's not the team that you let escape, that kind of situation. Washington had the skate on their neck. All they had to do was avoid a late empty net goal with an extra skater, and they scored. And then they win in overtime. And just like that, like you said, the momentum in hockey's crazy. Now Washington's in trouble.
Hey, listen, as all this was going on, word came out that Trotz got fired.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that? What
you had the same reaction as me. I said, what the hell, too? When I saw it come up on the screen, I said, wow. And the first thing that came to my mind is he had to want to leave. They didn't go to him saying, we don't want you anymore. It had to be something where he was done coaching that team for whatever reason. Because, first of all,
do you think he asked for more money? Do you think he asked for more money like he did in Washington?
I don't know if you could ask for more money after the season you just had. That would be kind of nervous. But I also don't think it was a season where you look and say, oh, it was the coach's fault. Look at what the Islanders had to go through the first couple months of the season. They had a COVID outbreak where their best 6 players didn't play for 2 weeks. They literally had guys that they called up playing in the hockey games for 2-3 weeks, couldn't win a game. And they couldn't play in their home stadium from the whole building for the first month and a half. So they're on the road every game. That's just, you can't, I would not blame the coach there. So to me, it's something that Trotz had to mutually agree to say, I want to leave, because it does not seem like a situation where they would go to him and say, listen, we don't like where the team's heading with you. It's not that type of situation. So it's interesting to see. I think more news will come out on what actually happened there. I don't think that they fired him. I think he left. And that's a good job. Any
Well,
coach,
I think there's going to be a
that's a
story
good
that
job.
comes out. I mean, listen, there's going to be a story that comes out just like there was in Vegas. You know, there was that story that came out in Vegas about why the president got fired. Remember the president fired for the Raiders a couple of days ago, just out of the blue. The president got fired. So I think we're gonna find out that there's more to this story than we know, because it doesn't make any sense. The guy's a great coach.
Great coach.
The guy he's a great coach.
And that team is talented.
He does great things wherever he goes.
So I think that team will regroup next year and be one of the better teams in the league again. I think it was just that bad luck of a season and the outcomes of what went down with COVID and just unfortunate, you know? So I think that's a good job for whoever is in line for a new head coaching job in the NHL. I think that's a very sexy job. But I want to shout out the Flames. They showed up last night. They played well. They finally started scoring late in that game and took control. And I think that they were back in control of that series. 2 out of 3 series, both 2 out of 3 at home. Flames are back, and we're going to get to see, hopefully, that Alberta battle in the next round.
Well, listen, it was good to see Lucic out there doing his thing. He's still the slowest guy I've ever seen on skates. He just kind of mopes around out there, but he just kind of ends up in spots. He's just moping around out there.
Yeah, I know.
Love watching Lucic, man. He just likes to throw his fists. Tell him to drop his gloves. He's good to go. So listen, obviously today's a big day, right? I'm looking
look at the challenge, though. The day. Just to bring it up, that challenge in the hockey. I honestly, you could make a case they should have won all 4 of those, because let's talk about that goal that they allowed in that Penguin game. You couldn't see the puck. I've never seen a review in hockey go that long. They were like making sure they found a way.
That was 100% a goal.
I mean, listen, most likely it didn't cross the line. Did you see it?
You have to make
sure you get that right. Did you see the puck?
That's all I'm going to say. Well, here's what I did see. I saw where the puck was, and then the puck disappeared. Yes, in a way you do, because you don't see it.
The rule says you have to deliberately see. You have to deliberately see the puck cross the line.
It had to be behind him. It was no place else.
It was under the pad. It could have been on the line. Who knows? You couldn't see it.
Behind him.
It's just an unfortunate situation where you should have said we couldn't see the puck. Sorry, we can't say it's a goal. It's unbelievable. I mean, it is what it is. That's not the reason the Rangers lost or anything, but that might have stayed under 1.5 is where I'm going with.
I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't describe it. I wouldn't describe it as an unfortunate situation. That's the way I would describe it.
But listen, I'm just saying, like, that to stay true to the rule. I see that all the time where they can't see the puck. They say there's no, undescribable evidence. It's unbelievable that they all of a sudden made sure that they changed, so they said it was a goal when no one saw the puck. You can't just assume. That's the rule. You can't just assume. So I don't get it. But like I said, it's not the reason they lost.
Well,
it is what it is.
We're not assuming. We could see the line, and we know the puck was there, and then it was pushed behind the line. So while we couldn't see it, we knew the puck wasn't over the line.
But it could have been under the pad, not crossing the line.
His pad was
the whole pad was not over the line. The whole pad was not over the line. We're not going to sit here and fight. It was a goal. It is what it is. They got ran.
You had a great day. Do not get spilt milk over the fact that the Rangers gave up a goal that they should have given up. It was a goal. Bottom line, it was a goal.
I'm just saying, the rule says, and you have to see it deliberately, and it wasn't seen. So, in my opinion, they should have said, we couldn't see the puck, it's no goal. That's what it's happened many times where situation.
Any bettors have the over? Did you notice anybody betting big on the over under in that? And did it cost anybody?
I didn't unfortunately see that, because I would have loved to see the reaction to that, but I didn't see that. I'm sure that there's plenty out there though that got burned by that.
Plenty of action on that.
But yeah, so another two in a row. Challenges won by Jersey Joe. I'm on the board. 2 in a row. MMA I won, and now I won the NHL. So are we doing a baseball one tonight?
We didn't win MMA. We tied.
Yeah, I did.
We tied MMA.
Go look.
It
says I won.
I'm gonna look because
it says I won. I just was looking at it.
100%.
It says I won.
Listen, what we need to do.
Oh yeah, we tied. It says green, but it says we split it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So listen, what I need to do is get away from some of these horrible picks, which I'm going to get into in a second, because I had one of the most miserable picks I've ever had yesterday. But I want to talk about the bees. We're not getting away from the bees, my man.
Let's get on the bees. Let's see what your thoughts are tonight. I mean, I understand you're confident and cocky right now after tying it up 2 in a row, winning two straight. But what are
there
your
is a
real
big difference in the
thoughts?
team. My real thoughts are he's finally got he's got the perfection team back together, and they are flying around right now. Bergeron, Marchand, and Pasternak
Yeah.
are playing phenomenal together. That goal they had off the face-off, where Pasternak backed up and Marchand gave him that pass and he ducked it in the net, was one of the best goals I've seen in a while, just because of it was a play that worked off a face-off. The problem is the biggest question mark on the team is the goaltender. You can't be good if your biggest question mark is your goaltender. You have to say he's our strength of our team.
Yeah.
And maybe, our third line and fourth line are question marks. When your question mark is your goaltender, it's going to be tough to beat a team like Carolina in Carolina. Listen, I hope they don't get whitewashed. I hope it stays a game into the third period.
My thoughts is Boston is now playing way better than they did in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
And they now have a chance to go on and continue their momentum. But my thoughts are that this is a home winning series. The home team's going to win every game in this series until game 7, where obviously any drop of the puck, bounce of the puck could happen. But I do think this gets to 7 in Carolina. So I do think Carolina holds serve tonight.
Really?
I think the Bruins will win game 6, and then this will be a game 7. That's what I see. Because both teams are different at home.
You really think you think it's going to 7? Yeah?
I think it's going to 7. And I think every home team wins.
I like to hear that. I'd be really happy to hear that, and I'd be looking forward to it going 7.
Yeah.
So, listen, the other games that are on tonight are going to be great games. I think tonight's just a great game.
So much pressure on Toronto tonight. I'm interested to see how they react to it because, coming into game 1, it's first game. They come out, they play well, they steal a game, and everyone starts talking cup again. Oh, they're going to get out of the series. But listen, the last game that we watched in this series was a total domination from Tampa. So to carry that on from a team with that pedigree of winning the last 2 cups and all the pressure on Toronto of not getting out of the first round, that's built up to the max tonight. And there's a lot of people that are betting on the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I'm intrigued to see what happens. I don't have like a lean here. I don't know who's going to win this game. This one is just, to me,
I think Toronto wins at home.
You win. I think Toronto wins tonight.
I do. I think Toronto wins at home.
I think they have to win tonight. Don't you?
Yeah, I think they're going to. But I think they're going to win it no matter what. I like them to win. The answer to that is no, because I think they're the most explosive team right now left in the playoffs. And I think, but I do think they're going to win at home. I think they're going to do well at home tonight.
I think for Drake's sake, they need to win tonight. For that to go 7, Tampa Bay goes home up 3-2. It's over, in my opinion.
Listen, I'm really looking forward to the LA Edmonton game.
Yeah, that's a crazy series too. That's an under the radar series, kind of,
because of LA's coach. So I'm always intrigued by their coach, the Kings coach, it's Sutter. He's just a weird old tough dude that he doesn't say a lot. He doesn't say a lot. He's just an old tough dude.
Kings have been sneaky all year, and they're good at home. It was a surprise to see them lose by so much, 8-2, I think it was in the first. And Tigers bounce. Tigers break it open.
What do they got?
They just bases clearing double. It's 6-0.
Still an under.
Do you know me? Do you know me? You know I'm on the Tigers today after all that crazy talk. I took the Tigers today.
Let's finish this. We're going to get to
baseball
in a minute. Keep going. Let's finish NHL because you got some cool shit going on in baseball. So I do. I'm looking forward to. The problem is, I think Edmonton's going to bounce back tonight at home, and play really good.
Tough spot for the Kings to be in tonight. They lost 8-2. They bounced back, played well. They won. It's a 2-2 series.
Yeah.
Tonight, though, the better team prevails, and that's Edmonton. I totally agree with you.
So it's game 5 all across the board. And all across the board, it looks like the home team's going to win. To me, I like the home team in all 5 games.
You like the home team in all games. I like the Hurricanes. You're right. I do like the Hurricanes. I'm not sold on Toronto. I'm not sold yet. And I'm a Toronto guy. I think they're going to go to the Cup if they get by Tampa.
So
this is
what did I tell you yesterday? when things were going on, I'm like, listen, I'm not good at hockey. I'm not good at
Yeah, it's our
NBA.
least favorite. I mean,
Get
this is such a crapshoot.
it. Yeah, get. How long do we got until they're kicking off college football again? How long do we got?
3 months. I think 3 months still.
Yeah, I haven't seen a 10 pick winning streak in a little while. It's starting to bother me. All right, man. We're gonna play. We're gonna get this quick commercial in for sport hitters, and
And
then
we'll get
we're
to
gonna jump
baseball.
in.
Let's do it.
We're gonna jump in. Yeah, we're gonna jump in and talk some baseball. Here's what's up. I sent you an invite to a challenge.
Let's do
The
it.
Nerfies are in. The Nerfies are in for baseball. My picks are in. Looks like Connor. I don't know if he's in yet or not. Yep, Connor's in. So we got props going on right now in baseball. So we got no run first inning, yes or no. Run first inning, yes or no. We got Nerfies going for baseball. Sport Hitters is adding a lot of different exotics and different types of play. I personally am not good at the Nerfy, so I still stick with teams. I like to stick with stuff I think I win. I like winning.
Yeah.
So I'm about the winning. Is what I'm all about winning. Not about like just picking it. Like my days.
You don't want to gamble. You just want to win.
I just want to win.
Yeah.
So my days of like of picking because something's there to pick from, though, that's behind me by 10 years. That's 10 years ago. Now I've learned the lesson, and now I'm about picking to win.
Okay.
So listen. Yesterday you came on here and you plugged something. I'm like, my man, he sounded pattern. There it is. Jersey Joe comes up.
You love the patterns.
I love patterns, man. And you had it. You hit it. And not only did you hit it, you outlined it. And then it happened again that day.
And it happened again, yeah.
So listen, it's the Detroit Tigers. You called it yesterday.
Worst offense in baseball, Mitch. Listen, obviously every now and then you're going to have a team that busts the game open. But they just got done of a 28-inning streak of no scoring, which is more than 3 straight games of baseball. For a professional lineup, that's just embarrassing and unacceptable. It is what it is. It happened. I just knew today because one of my favorite young pitchers in baseball is Tariq Skubal. He pitches for the Tigers. He has great stuff, and I've been following him all year. I love him. But his team doesn't score for him. But the matchup today against the Oakland A's was why I jumped on him today. I said, listen, if they're going to beat any team right now while they're playing like this offensively, it's going to be the A's with Skubal on the mound. And Skubal's left them scoreless, the A's, and they finally broke out in the 5th. But listen, they broke out with leadoff walk, bloop single, bunt to sacrifice that gets dropped and then everyone's safe, sack fly, and then he beats out a double play because the shift was on. That's how they broke open the scoring. And then finally just now a bases loaded clearing double. Their first RBI hit in 4 games, which is crazy.
So the crazy thing is that their offense is so much worse than the Reds. I mean, we're talking night and day. It's really incredible that their offense is as bad as it is. But and then again, like I said, you came out, you plugged in, you said, look at their last 10 games. So they're averaging about 2 runs a game. They end up throwing up a 0 spot yesterday.
That 4-0 in the last 2 weeks, which is insane. So that under was easy. What else did I say last night in baseball? I said one other game too, Giants. I said the Giants are going to win. You either take the run line or the first 5 minus a half for the value, and they covered both of them.
You had to take the -1.5. It was 250 minus 255 on the money line, and you can't take that. You have to throw the 1.5 in there to bring it down. Probably brought it down to 170, 180. Give yourself a chance at making some money. Listen, there is so. One of the things I want to talk about before we get into our challenge, before we get into the Nerfies, is I sent you a text yesterday, an outline of this lineup in Seattle.
Yeah.
It's about time for me
It
to
actually
say
woke
I
me
was
up to do
wrong on
some
Seattle.
research. Yes. Thank you for saying that, because it actually woke me up, and I looked at it, and I was shocked to see it, because this whole time I'm thinking
Yeah.
Seattle's this up and coming young team playing well. They've lost 8 of 10. And the only win, the one of those wins was
Not
a
only that,
walk-off win with 0 going into the ninth. Like, they're not
yeah,
playing well. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't
they're
aware of
not
how
doing
bad they've been playing.
anything well.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything well, and they're not. Well, first of all, they have a guy in the lineup batting .074.
Yeah.
They have 3 other guys under 200, and then they have one guy that's at like 290, and then outside of that, everything else is under 240. It is a miserable looking lineup. Now, Haniger isn't there,
Yeah.
but Suarez, Winker, not hitting.
Yeah.
I mean, I get Suarez; he's going to be a 200 hitter. But what about Winker? Why did Winker go from 290 to
I mean, they got a bunch of guys.
200?
Ty France is their best hitter right now. He's nothing special as far as a major league, star. Their young sensation, Julio Rodriguez, he's playing well, but he's still under 300. It's just a bad lineup, and it goes to say about the scoring in the league. Like, hitting is not up right now in the whole league. So
Yep.
the few teams that could hit are the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Blue Jays. It's why I continue to say those are the best 3 teams, because they all also have good pitching. So if they're the 3 of the only teams in the league who you can count on their offense, and they go to match it with great pitching, those are the 3
Yeah.
best teams. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's kind
Hey,
of
listen.
night and day.
Today is a monumental day in baseball. Tomorrow might be a holiday. The Cincinnati Reds have won 2 in a row. There is a chance today they could reach 3 wins in a row. Remember, I said I didn't know if they'd have a lead in 3 straight games. They might win 3 in a row. Today, it's interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to play them.
They got that young sensation who throws 100 on the hill. Remember, Hunter Green, but he's facing the same team who put up. Remember, he was in Milwaukee last week. The game we were talking about, how they went up 3-0 in the first, and then they were down 6-3 in the fourth. That's the same pitching matchup they got going on today. So can he bounce back, or does the Brewers now know what he has and are going to tee off on him again? We'll see.
So here's a quick update, a little tidbit. As you mentioned, I look for patterns. I came on here a couple days ago and I said, hey, listen, if you strictly look at betting every day and you in the MLB and you want to look at sports betting as a investment, you need to be disciplined and you need to be consistent. And I threw something out there, and I'm pretty sure you thought it was kind of weird or crazy, and I bet you a lot of people do. But if you go down and if all you do is bet what happened the previous day, the team won or lost, to do it again. And I said, baseball is not a sport where teams win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. They win 2, they lose 2. They win 3, they lose 3. If you go down and look at the streaks today, you would be at 19 and 11 right now. So over 60% winning. And some of them would be like dogs. They're not all favorites.
Right.
So you could get in on stuff.
I told you what the one, thing that could change that, though, is when a bad team loses. I mean, a good team loses to a bad team.
That's going to be one of them. If you do the same thing consistently, it'll iron itself out, because teams don't continue to do that. It's going to happen where a team doesn't do it.
Well, listen, I also found another trend that stayed true this week, because yesterday was Monday night. Every team who wins Sunday night baseball loses the next. If they play Monday, they lose every single time this year. It's happened. And yesterday it happened again. The Dodgers beat the Cubs Sunday night, and they lost to the Pirates yesterday. It just continued.
But
that should
have
never
we
happen.
looked back? How far back have you gone on this? Have you gone back all like 5 or 6 Sundays to see this, or are you just basing this off of yesterday?
No. I'm talking about all season.
The whole season. Every Sunday night team has lost on Monday.
And whoever won the Sunday night game has lost if they played Monday.
Well, listen, you're getting on some patterns here, my man. You're getting on some stuff.
Oh, you switched us up here. Let's go, baby. You in the zone.
Listen, you're hitting.
But I do not believe that the Pirates could beat the Dodgers in 2 straight games. So I just don't think that's possible. So that's one of the games where the outliers.
But if you're going to be consistent, you can't pick and choose. You have to. My point is this: if you honestly want to look at investing, sports betting as investing,
Yeah.
you have to be disciplined. You can't go and pick how you want to do
Switch
things.
it up. I know you got to stick to what your method is.
No matter
So,
what. Even if you think
would
you're
your
going to lose,
method be to lay off that game completely, or to pick Pittsburgh
play
because
it
they won
because you're
yesterday?
going to be plus 280. You're going to be plus a crazy number. So
Yeah.
if somehow the starting pitcher goes out and hurts his arm in the opening inning, or the other team's energized and moving in, you're at plus 280.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't stay off it. I'm saying bet everything and stay that way consistently, and stay with
Okay.
the same number.
I hear
Don't go
you.
in there and be like, oh, I'm going to do
Yeah,
this unit
same
or
unit
that unit. I
size,
hate
same
that.
unit size, same unit
Same
size.
thing, every time. Listen, we got some games going on today, and there's some things that I do like, and I actually put some time in to look at the games today, because we're on May 10th. Last year, I had that great run in June.
Yeah.
I still believe it can be done again.
Yeah, you're heating up. It's getting.
We got to get that feel. You got to start feeling the game, and I haven't felt it. So yesterday, debacle. Utterly debacle. Taking Flexen, and he got smashed.
Yeah.
What was it? 8-9-0? 8-9-0. And I looked at a lineup that was putrid, and I wasn't kidding when I said I think I can hit 0.75. I think I can hit better than their catcher.
I saw you pick some hacks down in
0.75.
Alabama last year. I saw it. You could definitely bat 0.67.
Yeah, I'm still a little mad about that strike. I'm still a little bent.
Yeah, Angel Hernandez was at the camp that day.
Angel Hernandez, and he was having a good time, just like the dude in Naked Gun. He was like eating it up. You're out of here, buddy.
Yeah, I remember that too.
He was really giving it to us. All right, listen, we got some stuff to talk about today because we got some challenges, right? So I jumped in, and I got my 3, and I like my 3.
I like my 3 too. And we're against each other. Like, we usually have at least one against each other, which is funny. Always. Like, at least one. You have your hometown bum-ass Boston Red Sox tonight. I actually could make a case for the Braves. Whitlock's on the hill for the Red Sox. Hasn't been too impressive. He's still young. I think the Braves are kind of that team that's going to start to go on a run here. They got Acuna back. He's starting to hit. He hit a home run in 2 straight games this week. I think the Braves go on a run, and I like their pitcher Wright. He throws a lot of slow curveballs. I don't think Boston's lineup is good at hitting off-speed pitches. So I do think tonight the Braves get it done at home. You know what I'm saying? I think the Braves at home.
Good logic. I think the Red Sox need to start playing some baseball. I think they need to get into these games and start playing. Otherwise, they're going to fall out of the race, and I think they know that. I think it's kind of
that matchup where both teams kind of got to get it going. So it's interesting.
Yeah. The next game I have, which is my pick of the day, is the Minnesota Twins.
Joe Ryan
against Verlander. What I tried to do, and I still don't know, is I was looking for the lineup, and it hasn't been released yet. So I just wanted to double check to make sure Buxton was in the game.
I'm pretty sure.
Because like I said, he changes that whole team's dynamic. When he plays, they're a good team. When he doesn't play, you bet against him no matter what.
Yeah, the lineup's still not out.
It's not posted yet. And then I took the Padres. I
looked at them too. I looked at them. I looked at the Padres. Clevenger's on the hill. The Cubs aren't very good. The thing about the Padres is they've only scored 3 runs in the last 3 games.
Oh, son of a gun. I'm looking at Buxton's listed. So Buxton.
No Buxton? You said no Buxton? Did you say no Buxton?
He's listed on the injury report. Yeah, he's listed day to day. He's listed on the injury report right now.
Well, maybe that's why the lineup didn't come out yet. They're waiting to see what if he's going to play or not.
Man, they can't. Like I said, when Buxton doesn't play, you bet against the Twins every game.
We saw them live.
Listen, if he's not playing, you bet against him every game. You bet against them, and you'll win money.
So that's looking good for me because Verlander on the hill with no Buxton should be easy money for the Astros, don't you think? And I got the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays
on the road, right? That's a road game.
On the road, but the Yankees aren't hitting right now. The Yankees are in a slump offensively. They only scored 5 runs in that 3-game set that they won against Texas. Only 5 runs in 3 games. They're not hitting. I think Toronto. Severino's on the hill for the Yankees. Kikuchi, who I don't like, is on the hill for the Blue Jays, but I do think their bats are going to hit Severino. So I hope they catch him. But getting 12.5 on Sport Hitters, I think that's a good number. And then I have the Phillies tonight. I think their offense woke up last night. The Seattle Mariners, we just talked about, are struggling as an offensive club.
They won yesterday.
And Nola's on the hill. So their ace is on the hill after finally breaking out. I like them to keep going. I like the Phillies to keep going.
Nola against the team that can't hit.
Yeah.
Advantage Nola. Big time. Big time advantage Nola. Listen, those are good picks. I can't argue. Probably a little homer. I'll probably be flipping bet between both the Red Sox and the Bruins games, trying to figure.
Yeah, you win that. If the Red Sox beat the Braves, you're looking strong to nip me.
Well,
I like
need
the
Buxton
Padres.
to play. I have no chance without Buxton. It's actually my pick of the day, but now I've got to wonder with no Buxton. That throws a wrench into the world. Man, gets tough. Used to be easy to win 6 in a row.
Yeah, I know, right? So crazy by the day.
By the day, used to be easy to throw a couple.
I was gonna go Mets, Dodgers, Blue Jays. The 3 best teams in my opinion, but I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that.
Who the Mets got? Mets got a doubleheader today?
Mets play Washington. No, they got Carrasco on the hill against Washington and Patrick Corbin tonight. I just said, you know what? I'm going to save the Mets. Maybe I'll pick them tomorrow. I think, I'm not going to jump on them every night. I like the Braves and the Phillies tonight. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take a shot with them. And then I got 12.5 would arguably the best offense in the American League, in my opinion. So that's what I'm doing tonight. And I think I should be all right.
Oh, my boy Giolito's on the mound tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. I looked at them too. That game was crazy yesterday. You saw that in extra innings, 11-9 or something. It was.
Yeah, guy had 8. A guy had an RBI in
Josh Naylor.
Naylor had an RBI in the 8th. Then he had a grand slam in the 9th. Then he had a 3-run shot.
3-run shot in the 10th. Yeah, it was crazy.
8 RBIs in 3 innings. The last 3 innings of the game.
In a thriller. That's MVP status. That was crazy.
Who blew the game for the White Sox? I didn't see who blew the game for the White Sox, but
you mean in the 9th?
Yeah, who gave up the grand slam?
Let me see.
Was it what's his name from the A's? Was it the guy from the A's? Let's see here. I want to see if it was what's his name from the A's.
Hendricks. No, he's not the guy who gave up the grand slam, though. Actually, it might have been. It might have been because they gave 4 earned runs to Tanner Banks. Those runs that were on base, and maybe Hendricks gave up the grand slam, but they were charged to Banks. Yeah, it's possible.
He did. They allowed the other guy to start the inning because it was a 4-run lead, and then they brought Hendricks in when it started getting close.
Yeah, man, he's flash in a pan from a year ago or 2 years ago. He's not the same closer. He's been iffy all year.
Yeah, he's been iffy all year. I've noticed it a couple times. And wow, they had everybody out there playing, man. Abreu's not the same guy. Why is Abreu going 0 for 6 in a game? What's Abreu doing going 0 for 6?
Yeah, Abreu's not the same. That's the whole team's not the same, honestly. They haven't been that good yet. They haven't been that team that just, beats the shit out of everybody like they were last year. They have a lot of injuries, but it's not an excuse,
so listen,
really.
It's no longer just a Mitch conspiracy because it's now, if you go on TikTok, people are trying to figure out what is going on with the umpires in baseball. Did you see the game I sent you where there was it was the Tigers game? It was the Tigers.
It was the Tigers game. But every call was wrong. Every call was low, outside, inside, and then every batter was getting frustrated. You know what I mean? They were getting mad.
They have no.
It's just the thing that is about is there's nothing that could be done about it. They could sit there and argue until they're blue in the face. No, I'm saying at the time, they're not changing the call. It's just terrible. And it changes the whole at bat every time they make that call that bad. Like even today, I saw a bunch of calls not being called right. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
the whole at bat was changed.
What I go back to, I think there's different motives here. But did you see the play with Baumgartner getting thrown out of the game last week?
I did, and I couldn't believe it. So after the first inning, they checked him for substances, right?
Yeah, but
that's where it happened.
Listen. The umpire wasn't looking at his hand. He was staring in his eyes, just staring at him caressing his hand. Baumgartner's looking down, thinking the guy's looking at his hand. He looks up. The umpire's staring into his eyes.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, I would have pulled my hand away and be like, dude, what's your problem? And he literally was caressing his hand and looking in his eyes. And I'm like,
Baumgartner was just probably like, yo, buddy, what are you doing, homie? And he gets thrown out.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And so I would love to know what was said there, because
he must have said the F word, and I'm not talking about
the umpire was trying to instigate. The umpire was, you don't stare at a guy's eyes and just wait for him to get mad.
There's no right situation where you look a guy dead in his face.
No, when you're supposed to be checking and you're caressing his hand. You're caressing his hand, staring in his eyes.
That's hilarious.
This is on a Major League Baseball field. So I'm like, wow. So
he starts tonight. First start since that ejection.
Well, listen, my whole point is, you know what? My guess is they're going to give him a bunch of calls. He's going to have a really big strike zone tonight to make up for it.
So he hasn't given up more than one run in a start all year, and he's never gone more than 5. So I expect him tonight to go 6 or 7 and get the calls like you're saying. Hopefully it's his best outing of the day. He's my fantasy. He's in my fantasy
Miami
team. Yeah, at home against the Miami Marlins, a hit or miss team as well. So that's the team he got ejected against too. Was in Miami last week.
Yeah, that's the baseball is just strange right now.
The umpires are really bad though right now. They really.
It looks like the unders. If you start playing a lot of unders, you're going to be good. Pick on, you could literally start today and take, or actually you could have started 2 weeks ago. Just take Detroit unders. Just take them.
There's a funny trend going on at this FanDuel Sportsbook actually right now with one of the big bettors over there. Yeah. He comes in, he picks one team a night, throws 20, 30, 40 grand, whatever he's feeling that day. That game goes under. He's 13-1 under. Only one game went over. 13-1. And he's not on an over-under. He's on a team. But whatever game he's on, the game goes under. It's crazy. We all follow it.
What do you mean? Is he betting the unders or is he betting the team?
No. He's betting a team. Like, let's say, for instance, 2 games of the streak. He bet the Phillies, the Brewers money line.
Is this the same guy that kept betting on teams that got shut out?
Yes, that's the guy. Okay. That's the guy. So you remember, he had the Brewers on that Sunday night baseball game where it ended 1-0. Yeah. And then yesterday he had Oakland A's 2-0 against the Tigers. It's just every game is like no one scores till late in the game. Every game. It's crazy. It's a fun trend we've been following over there. I'm interested to see who he has tonight.
Keep that guy off the George Washington Bridge. Don't let him on the bridge. My goodness. Yeah, I mean, that's not a fun thing to be part of.
No. He sits there and says it. He goes, "This is never easy. It's always no one knows how to hit every game I take, and it's the most pathetic thing ever." It is kind of wild because he's in like 0-0 games late constantly. It's nuts.
Is he going to be here?
Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf? Chaz, I think I'm okay. I had a bite right before I came over. Thank you. You sure? You know what? I will have some meatloaf. Let's have some meatloaf. You want some? Yes. I knew you'd come. Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf! What is she? You
Listen, at the end of the day, we talk about this all the time, man. I think, guys end up living in their parents' basement if they don't end up being disciplined.
Yeah.
They'll be older.
He's disciplined. He throws the same amount of money almost every time, unless he's up.
Let me ask you this: Does he have sneakers? Does he have sneakers from the 70s? Is he wearing sneakers from the 70s?
No, he's wearing new stuff, new expensive shoes. He's wearing a new, like Louis Vuitton bag with his money's in.
I love the guys that show up in the sweatpants and sneakers from the 70s that say they have a system, and their system is 18 parlays, all in different sports. Those are the best. Those are, to me, the best. Because those are the guys that I say, call Vegas Dave. You'll save a little bit of money.
Yeah, exactly. There's actually another funny story from the other night. So I'm leaving the sports book. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. There's a guy out there begging me to give him a ride home, right? And I'm looking at him. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm not going that way. Sorry to help you. And I'm in my own problem. I got my own problems. I got to go. He pulls out of his pocket 4 tickets longer than a CVS receipt and says, man, I'm so close to hitting for $500,000. Look at these tickets. He sold his PlayStation that day. He sold all this stuff to bet. And I'm looking, and then he said only 1 or 2 games on each ticket lose, man. They were for $200,000. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, this is what's wrong with the sports betting industry. Guys like this who literally are spending all their money to try to hit these 13-team parlays for $500,000 and think it's possible. That's a problem. He couldn't even afford to get home. He couldn't afford an Uber or a cab because he spent all his money on those tickets.
Yeah, and it's a fix. What do you think he's thinking about right now? It's so close. How am I going to get money?
Oh, he was there the next day. I worked the next day. He was in there in the same clothes the next day. So how did you find money to come back in here again the next day if you couldn't get home last night? Your priorities are messed up.
So I said, listen, man, go home, get this app called Sport Hitters. Jump in that. You get to pick 10 teams a night, and it only costs you $50, and maybe you'll win, $2 or $3 grand. Stop coming in here and selling your PlayStation.
Right.
Start losing less and watching more games.
But the funny thing is he kept looking at my eyes and said, I know what's going to happen tomorrow. You fuck with baseball? Follow me in baseball. I looked at him. I said, bro.
Follow me. I need to ride
I looked at him.
man.
I said, bro, who needs to ride home? Follow you?
Yeah, well, yeah, man, follow me.
Nah, bro.
Man, no.
And then it's funny. He goes, oh, see, Milwaukee was supposed to beat the Braves today, but he goes, definitely the Milwaukee's going to win tomorrow. I kept an eye on that game the next day. The Braves won again. So I don't. It's funny how all these guys think that they know what they're talking about.
Listen, gambling really isn't that hard. You just have to be disciplined and see patterns. If you just got to be disciplined. If you discipline and you see patterns, you can win money doing it. They make a lot of money off of people who like to say, I told you so, or I knew this was going to happen. Take all that out of it.
Like the Canelo fight. Everyone could have swallowed. It's Canelo fighting. He's not losing. Go pay the $650. Go throw him in your parlay.
Speaking of that, what in the Canelo fight, what weight was this at? Do you know? I have no, he fights at 15 different weights. I don't even know was this guy bigger than him, smaller than him? Was he faster than him? Was he stronger than him? How did he beat him? What was it?
He was just a better boxer.
Was he a lighter guy that he went down to fight? Was he a heavier guy that he went up to fight?
I think I'm reading it was 175 they came in at.
And is that his? I thought Canelo was like a 135, 145 guy. No,
and listen, I don't know much. I'm not a big boxing guy, but listen, Floyd Mayweather put $100,000 on Bivol to beat Canelo and tweeted out it was easy money before it happened. And this guy was in the ring and beat Canelo when Canelo was coming up as one of the new up-and-coming guys. And Floyd, listen, I'm not going to listen to Floyd betting hockey or basketball, but when he talks in boxing, he must know something. And Bivol dominated that fight. Literally, it wasn't even like a close fight, a fluke win. That Canelo's just done, man. I guess he's not. Canelo's been around forever, like we said. Like when I was in high school, Canelo fought Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? So Canelo's been around. He's done. That's just how it is.
All right.
Take the money and run.
Pick of the day. Who do you got? Who's your pick of the day?
I'm going to back the team I've been very, very high on all season, and I think Phoenix Suns come home, play well, cover the 6, win convincingly. That's my play of the day. I'm backing with Phoenix at home in a must-win game.
God, yeah, I'm stuck on my pick of the day is Minnesota, but I thought they had Buxton. So I think the problem
you can switch your play of the day right now. You have them in your Sport Hitters Challenge, but you could not make them your play of the day now, knowing a key part of the reason why they were is not true.
Yeah, I sat there and I focused in on them. I love the
go with your bees. Grab your sack.
Oh man, no! I tell you what, I'm going to stick. I'm going to say Buxton goes out and plays. I like the 125. I like the plus 125. I'm going to take Minnesota.
They're hot. They won 8 of 10. And listen, maybe Buxton doesn't play. They could still win. Doesn't mean they have no shot. So stick with your gut. That's your play of the day. Maybe
when Buxton doesn't play, they lose. I mean, listen, the easiest play in the world is when he doesn't play, you bet against him.
Yeah.
And if they're only minus 145.
So you laid that out plain and day. So if they do lose and he didn't play, you actually say this is why they
would say, listen, if he's not playing and Houston is only minus 145 with Verlander, I'm on Houston. Okay. If he's in the lineup, I am on Minnesota plus 125.
As the play of the day, too. Not
play
just
of the day.
On.
It's either or. So if Buxton's in the lineup, my play of the day is Minnesota. If he's not in the lineup, my play of the day is Detroit.
It's interesting.
They're,
Houston, not Detroit. Houston.
Yeah, I'm on Houston. I'm sorry. I'm on Houston.
Verlander used to play for Detroit.
Yeah.
I got you. All
right.
right.
We'll be back. And listen, I need to go 3-0 today because I need to feel like we're at least moving forward. And
I'm confident in my baseball.
We're not moving forward. We're not moving forward with stuff getting thrown out there where Flexen gives up 8. You had a great day yesterday. Impressed again with the Detroit numbers. The Detroit pattern, the Detroit data you gave out, solid, and you're backing it up. So
hey, listen, they scored 6 today. They have a doubleheader today. I'm interested to see if they maybe got hot now and start to score some runs like a normal functioning baseball team, or if they go right back to not being able to score. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for their game later tonight too.
Don't listen. Don't be that guy. You came out with the info yesterday. You know they're a bad You know they're a bad offense. They just went hot in one game. They're a very bad offense. They're going to be bad again for an extended period of time. They are not turning things around. They're going to be bad. Stay with it. It was great info. So stay with it. All right, guys. Listen, it was fun again, man. And we'll be back tomorrow chatting it up, talking a little more, covering back. Go Bees.
Yeah, go Bees. Let's go Phoenix, baby. Take back this series. Stop